Hey guys, I'm HP. This is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is rock and roll guitar, Chuck Berry style. And before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy with a free member account or a premium member account. So what are we talking about today? This. And so on. We're going to talk about to play a really good professional and solid rock and roll guitar in the style of Chuck Berry. I know there's another guy out there, Scotty Moore. He has a complete different style. We just figure out Chuck Berry here, and probably already recognize it. It's a lot quite similar to the intro of Johnny B. Good. Basically, if you know the intro of Johnny B. Good, you know already a lot to play this type of rock and roll guitar. So let's get started. Alright guys, first about the key. Most of Chuck Berry's songs are in the key of B flat. Quite this key kind of makes the sound as well, but when he got older he didn't really stick too much to the key anymore, because then probably didn't get up so high with his voice anymore. But we're checking out this rock and roll thing in the key of B flat. First, a typical rhythm guitar, which he's always played. This one here. It's really simple here. We have B flat 5 here, 6th, 8th fret. Then we have E flat 5, 6, 8, and we have F 8, 10. And we play a simple riff. And we play with alternate picking. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So on 2 and 4, with the pinky, we take the one here in the 10th fret, or here as well, or on the F in the 12th fret, and we make an accent there. So you just give an extra kick here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 4 bars, E flat, and F. There's a little trick if you want to, when you change between the chords, you can make 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and on the upstroke you make an open one, then you have a little bit more time to change that chord. So yeah. And that's basically the rhythm guitar, which is quite prominent on Chuck Berry's really iconic songs, which he played: Roll Over Beethoven, Little 16, Johnny B. Good. That's basically that. Good. Now we check out the soloing, which works on any type of rock and roll tune. As I already said, if you know Johnny B. Good, the intro, you're already pretty well there where we need to go. And I mean, I knew Johnny B. Good when I started my career. I was playing 6 months guitar. I could play the intro of Johnny B. Good. And I stripped out all the licks from this intro, and that was enough to play professional rock and roll guitar for 2 years till I changed the genre. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you want to play the whole evening rock and roll guitar, this thing can get really tiring. So if you get tired here, then you do this empty strike on 4 ends more often. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This way you have a short moment to relax your hand. I can tell because I did it, and if you play this kind of stuff the whole evening, you need something to relax your hand in between. So now let's check out the solo which I wrote for you guys on this simple B flat thing. One thing is of course this iconic. So we slide here from 5 to 6 and 1 and 2 and it's in eighths. So we have a figure of 3 notes in eighths. That means the accent always moves. So first it starts on beat, 1 and 2 and second, and then it starts on the off beat. So it always switches between off and on beat, and that's one of the main tricks to really get something driving, and you're going to see later that this is really a main trick. So now we play this, and then we stick to the original Johnny B. Good intro. I mean, you can open with this here. And then 8, 7, 6, 6, 7, 8. And then we do the same thing again here. Again, slide in, and it's a figure of 3. And then we resolve it. Here 8, 7, 6, 8, 6, 8, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now so 6, 8, 6, 8, 6, and then the next part comes. So let's first do the first part. When it switches to E flat comes this here, typical one. So here we make the bending in the 8th. And there are, when you listen through Chuck Berry stuff, he played it always differently. But we take an easy one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just play it in quarter notes. You make it a short note. And then to give more swing, now we anticipate the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold it till one end. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, and then continue with 8s, and you go back to the original figure, which goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and repeat the whole thing again. Okay, and then we do another typical repeating pattern, this one here. So we make the bending here in the 8th, lay the finger down in the 6th, and it's a figure in 8s, but because there are 3 notes, the accent moves. And one other thing which is a bit problematic is the picking here. So I recommend you do upstroke, downstroke, downstroke. That makes it more easy, especially when it gets fast. So upstroke, downstroke, okay? And this figure with 3 notes in 8, a 3-note figure in 8 resolves itself after 3 bars. So we play 3 bars of this. And then we make a final phrase here, 8, 6, 8, 6, 7. So let's play the whole thing now. Works perfect. Sounds more or less like Johnny B. Good. As I said, when you listen to all versions of Johnny B. Good, he never plays it exactly the same, so don't worry about that. Just get the trick out of that. I heard one version of him. He was quite old and pretty drunk on stage. He didn't play it in the right key and didn't get it because he was too drunk. That's rock and roll. All you guys who think it's all written exactly the same, has to be played exactly the way it's on the records. These guys didn't, most of them, they didn't care. They just played it in a way, Okay, now let's do 3 additional licks. I talked about these licks with 3 note licks in 8s, where the accent moves, and they're really the ones which are essential. So we have probably this one. Again, here the slide or the double stop here in 6/6, and here we have one in 9/8. Same again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, and the accent moves and it resolves itself after 3 bars. Okay, another one which works is this one here. Double stop lick here, 8, quarter note bending with both 1, 2, 3. So same thing again. Resolves itself after 3 bars. And then you can continue to the next or just keep it going. And last but not least, a simple one, which is not a 3-note pattern, is just this. This is also very typical, the bending here in the 8 and the double stop here in 6/6. And there I recommend upstroke, downstroke. Even if it's against alternate picking strategies, but works best for this. So let's see how these 3 licks work. And you can already hear that's basically, it's quite sufficient and works great on this type of genre. And that's it. I mean, I just played it very methodically now. It doesn't have to be, exactly 2 bars of that, exactly 3 bars of that. You can go wild with that stuff and then just create something cool. You can strip out parts of this and make combinations to create new solos. And that's basically how rock and roll guitar in this style works. I'll show you. I played a few single note lines on purpose that I can hear the difference. When you decide to go to single note lines in such solo, that was my experience as well playing in this rock and roll band. I played in 2. Is that doesn't work. As soon as you want to play single note lines, you lose the grip and you lose the punch which is needed for this genre. Yeah, and that's the main point when you play this type of rock and roll guitar, to acknowledge that it's not really much needed to be sounding great, And the more you try to make something, I don't know, out of the box, the more you discover it doesn't really work. I mean, you can sit in the audience, you know, when you play all the then they go wild when you play. They don't care. At least that was my experience. I mean, you can give it a shot, but knowing these licks, which I show now, is really enough. And I mean, it's fun. And, that's how it is. One more to say. If you want to download this cool backing track, plus the tabs of all the stuff which I just showed, it's available in the HPCrazy Guitar community. Please join them with a free member account, but in order to download the stuff, please make a premium membership there. I'm building up a small guitar community there. You get my newsletter, stuff like that. You can communicate, blah, 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 blah. You know how it is. It's my only social media feed, which I really feed now. Good. That's all me and Dr. Pink are having to say. If you have any questions, ask in the Guitar Academy. Me and Dr. Pink are saying goodbye.